Okay, it's here.
Meeting called to order. Councilmember Bez Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Chapman.
Here.
Councilmember Clayton.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Here.
Mayor Moore.
Here.
Please stand for a silent prayer, moment of reflection. We will now salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. As complied with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in the following manner. The annual notice is forwarded to the Asbury Park Press, the Coaster, and the Star Ledger on January 16, 2025, and posted on the bulletin board the same date. All notices are on file with the City Clerk. We're now on special event applications from Recreation Director Alicia Floyd.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. There are 4 applications before you and 1 wedding application. The only new application is for the line dancing classes to be held in Springwood Park. Are there any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. We're now on to matters from City Council. Councilmember Bez Anderson.
Yes, I have a couple of announcements. Good evening, everyone. Summer Day Camp Program, it begins June 30th and it runs through August 8th from 12 to 4:30 p.m. It's at Thurgood Marshall, Martin Luther King Middle School, and the Bradley Schools. All payments are non-refundable, so please bring the exact amount of money. Please see the director, Ms. Alicia Floyd, if you want to register your child. Also, at the table there, we have savings for our seniors workshop. This is for those who are interested in getting a tax refund. So we're having a senior freeze workshop. It'll be July 14th. So it'll be here at the chambers. There is a flyer on the table there. And then also line dancing classes. So if you've ever been to a party and everyone breaks out and they're doing the line dancing and you don't know how, you can learn. And that begins July 10th, and it'll run through July 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. at Springwood Park. And that's all that I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Chapman.
Yes, I'd just like to let everyone know that the 4th of July fireworks are actually taking place on July 3rd on the beachfront in Asbury Park between 1st and 5th Avenues at around 9 o'clock. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Clayton.
Nothing at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Quinn.
No.
Thank you. Mayor Moore.
Yeah, something just very brief. And this morning, there was an incident on the beachfront where unfortunately one of our lifeguards got kind of impelled by umbrella. She's out of surgery. She's doing fine. And we just wish her the best in the future. And hopefully in a week or 2, she'll be back on the bench. So it's been on TV. It's been on the news. We're not ignoring it. The governor sent his prayers, but she's doing fine. So just heads up for everybody to know that.
Thank you. Matters from the city manager.
Good evening. Nothing to add.
Thank you. And matters from the city attorney.
Thank you. I have nothing for tonight.
Thank you. We're now on to public participation. May I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
Move to open.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public participation portion of the meeting is now open. Any member of the public who wishes to speak, please use the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and there will be a 3-minute time limit for each speaker.
And let me just start off with another little housekeeping. There's an ordinance on later in the agenda. You can speak at both. You can speak now and speak then, but I just want to let you know, like that ordinance will be towards the end of the meeting. So, and you can speak then about that if you wish to. But right now you can speak about anything. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Hello, my name's Frank Cuccinata. I'm at 209 6th Avenue, and I'd like to ask a couple questions regarding the infrastructure improvement plan. So I guess a couple requests. The first one is that you change the back-in angled parking from back-in to head-in angled parking. If you're coming from Ocean on 6th, you start off in the first block you hit, you go into angled parking, head in. Then once you cross Kingsley, under the plan, you're now going to be angled parking, butt in, which doesn't make any sense for a couple of reasons. Number one, somebody coming down the street goes head in, and all of a sudden now they're looking for parking. They have to back in, one. The other thing is, with these people backing in, you have the exhaust going from the cars that are idling, and while they're unloading or loading, all this exhaust is getting closer to our houses, our porches, our yards, our balconies, the windows, the doors. All that exhaust is coming into our properties, and that just doesn't make any sense to have the exhaust going that way. The other thing that I would ask is that we carve out those two historic homes on 6th Avenue. If you look at the the benefit that you're getting from widening the street for 207 and 209, you're getting no benefit at all as far as parking spaces. You're losing green space. It just doesn't make any sense what I'm asking is that you carve that out. If you want to do the infrastructure improvement plan on 6th Avenue, carve out those two houses so that you don't lose any parking. In fact, you gain a parking spot by leaving the street as it is for that section, and you gain additional green space. So in addition, there doesn't seem to be a need to widen the sidewalks for that area. It's a residential area. It's not like it's a commercial area where you have a lot of foot traffic. It's a residential area, so expanding the sidewalk from 6 feet to 7.5 feet just doesn't make any sense. It's overkill. We also ask that you leave the bluestone sidewalk as they are, because the bluestone sidewalk is much more durable and more pleasant to look at than concrete. So the other thing I look at is that all this work that's being done on 6th Avenue, in the 6th Avenue section, will only add 6 additional parking spaces. So the question is, A, how much is this infrastructure plan costing? And do we really need this to be done on that section of 6th Avenue when you're not getting any gain, or very little gain? Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Gabriela Cuccinata, 209 6th Avenue. We were here a couple times already. I thank you for your time, but I wanted to speak again on the critical issues that will severely impact the North Beach neighborhood that we live in. The block between 6th and 7th and Kingsley and Webb is home to many residents living in condos, apartment buildings, multifamily and single-family homes. The vision for this block at the writing of the waterfront redevelopment plan was that the entire block would be obtained through eminent domain. And you can see the maps on page 18, 22, and 24 showing this one large placeholder building. The plan that was meant to be applied to a block that was being fully developed just doesn't make sense for our community. Our property sits on the corner of Webb and 6th. I will focus the concerns that we have with the changes proposed along Webb Street. On the east side, you will find our home, a 50-foot wide lot in an apartment building with patios and balconies facing the street. The proposed plan calls for taking the right-of-way 30 inches to increase the 3-foot grassy apron into a 4-foot concrete paver apron with tree pits. A retaining wall, which does sit on the right-of-way and for which we pay rent every year, will have to be removed and pushed back. And the garden that's there, that's enjoyed by all, like, not only the residents, but also visitors always comment on how beautiful this garden will be truncated. We will have less grass for the water to be absorbed, increasing our flood risk for our house and also increasing liability for the city since the house has never flooded in all the years. So further down the street, the residents of the apartments will lose their privacy by having the sidewalk moved to a few feet from the patios and balconies. Dogs will have fewer places to relieve themselves. With the loss of the grassy apron, lawns in our garden, our street will become more sterile and less inviting. If the concern is to widen the aprons to allow trees to be planted, trees can be planted in the current grassy aprons. There are many streets throughout the city that have 3-foot grassy aprons where trees are thriving. The street will keep its cohesive look with west side of the street where the grassy aprons will remain if the proposed changes are not made. The waterfront redevelopment plan has been modified many times since its inception. The maps on page 18, 22, and 24 show the plans have already been modified for our block since the entire block is not being redeveloped. We are asking the city to apply a common sense approach and only make changes to Webb Street on sections where the entire block is being developed, 7th and 8th. This will save Starfield money by avoiding the cost of pavers and building and rebuilding retaining walls. More importantly, it will save the city money on maintenance needed for permeable pavers to remain permeable. So I would really appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dole Felder. I'm the CFO of First Healthcare Management Company. We own and operate the Jersey
Have your
Shore.
address for the record, please, sir?
My home address?
Yeah,
99 Flintlock Drive in Lakewood, New Jersey.
thank you.
We own and operate the Jersey Shore Adult Daycare Center, currently operating at 600 Main Street in the great city of Asbury Park. I thank you for this opportunity to address this distinguished body this evening. I'm joined today by some of the many Asbury Park residents that attend and are cared for daily in our center. We have many more residents that we serve, but not everybody was able to make it this evening. We're also joined by some of our amazing staff, many who reside in Asbury Park. These are the amazing people that make up the team and family at Jersey Shore Adult Daycare. We are here today to express our support for Ordinance 2025-14, an amendment to the city's Main Street redevelopment plan. This will allow our daycare to move from our current location at 600 Main Street to 1105 Main Street. Jersey Shore Adult Daycare has been a beacon and part of Asbury Park community for 30-plus years, 20 years under our ownership. We are proud to serve the community of Asbury Park, and we care for the city's frail and elderly, as well as the disabled population. We are part of the fabric of this city. We are a good neighbor, we work with our neighbors, and make sure that we are an asset to this community. As you all know, we don't have any complaints about our current neighbors and are a true asset to this city. There are many reasons we should approve this amendment today. First and foremost, as I've said, we serve the community and part of Asbury Park. 2, we are currently in the redevelopment area, and our use should have been grandfathered into the plan when it was created. We are just moving a few blocks over. 3, the plan allows for child daycare, and not allowing for senior or adult daycare would be discrimination. Discrimination against our most vulnerable populations. 4, this amendment has been recommended for approval by the City Planning Board, and I quote, "The board finds the proposed amendments are consistent with the city master plan and the goals and objectives of the MSRP. This amendment will allow Jersey Shore to stay in Asbury Park, continue to serve its residents, continue to employ members of this community, and flourish in the city that it serves. We ask for your support and your vote to pass this amendment." We have a lot of people here, and in lieu of each person getting up and stating their name and their support, we can give handwritten statements of support. I don't know if that's acceptable, or if you would rather each person get up and say their support for this amendment.
Ciao. No. I'm sorry, sir. Stay there a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where the fuck, please? I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
Would that be okay for the record to just hand in statements of support from all these amazing people
You
here?
already have them filled out?
Yes.
Yes, if you want to do that, absolutely.
Okay. I think that would be easier on everybody, right? I mean, we're all here to support Jersey Shore Adult Daycare, right?
Yes, hello. I want to get my
Hold
voice
on, hold on
heard
one second. Hold on one second. You have to give us your name and address.
Okay, my name is Christina Lang, and my address is 1400 4th Avenue. Listen, I've been trying since before Memorial Day weekend to get blue parking lines painted in my house because I'm handicapped. And this town is such unbelievable process. I'm getting complete runaround. James Bonanno doesn't call back for weeks, and he says you have to go through the police. I go through the police, then all of a sudden they say it's not important enough for today's agenda. Well, it's important. You know what? It's summer, and I can't find parking at my own house. And this is ridiculous. We're 1.2 square mile town. I've lived in New York my whole life. I moved here 5 years ago. I've never seen such bureaucratic red tape. This is ridiculous. So it's very important to me that I can park at my own house. I pay $11,000 in taxes, and I have a very expensive house. I've put hundreds of thousands of dollars in my house to renovate, make this neighborhood better. And now that I'm in need, you give me the runaround? This is ridiculous. So I want my agenda added right now, and I want to have my blue lines painted. I have 4 broken vertebrae, and I have a broken foot, and this is ridiculous that I have to go through hoops to try to get somebody to give me a handicap parking in my own house. I have neighbors that sit there and say 2 beds, first come, first serve. I should be able to park at my house, and I can't park at my own house. And I'm sick to death of getting a runaround from everybody at this city. This is ridiculous. So I want somebody to help me, and I don't want to get, oh, you got to speak to Bonanno. Oh, you got to speak to Officer Vargas. Oh, you got to get on the city council meeting. Oh, James Bonanno, oh, it's not important enough for tomorrow's agenda meeting. Really? It's really important for me to be able to park at my own house. So what do we need to do to get the blue lines painted? Because I'm sick and tired of getting the runaround.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. Well, number one, I apologize for you getting the runaround. It's the first time, obviously, we're hearing about it. So, I can't correct the past, but we can move forward in the future. We, by law, need a recommendation from the police department. The police department has to go out there and say it has to be done, and then we can approve it. So that's the process. We cannot
Okay, but your police department, Officer Reed, is apparently got 1 foot out the door in retirement. So if I showed you my cell phone and how many times I've left him a voice message, and I've given him my card for persons with a disability, I've given him my placard, and just because he's got 1 foot out the door, and he's almost retirement, and then I have to speak to Officer Vargas, and I'm new to doing this, and he's not sure how to do it, and then he says, okay, I finally have all the information,
Okay,
and
Ms.
then to
Lang.
find out that it didn't make it today's council meeting.
Okay.
John, I live right across the street from you. You know my house. It's the blue house. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars renovating my house. And now this past year, I've had nothing but medical nightmares. I was in the hospital for 7 weeks. I have 4 broken vertebrae. I shouldn't have to go through this to be able to park at my house.
Okay, can you furnish us, and when I say us, send it to John Hayes,
Yes, I
the
did.
Deputy City Manager, all of your emails?
Yes,
So
I
he
did.
can look into that?
This shouldn't be going on for over a month already. This is ridiculous. Since before Memorial Day weekend, I've been trying to get somebody to say to me that I can't park on my property, and my neighbors don't care. Their attitude is first come, first serve. It's street parking. So my
Right.
placard means nothing unless there's blue lines painted, because then anybody could park right by my house.
Right, okay, so I'm being told it will be on the next council agenda.
No, I can't wait till the next calendar.
But
We're in
we
the
can't-
middle of summer right now.
We
It's
can't-
92 degrees outside, and for me to have to circle around and try to find parking when I can't walk and I have a broken back in 4 places, it should not wait till the next meeting. That's why I drove here right now after a doctor's appointment and left my 16-year-old dog that's waiting for me to get his medication and to eat, because that's how important it is for me that I needed to come down here and be seen and be heard and say I'm not waiting till July 9th to the next meeting.
You've been heard, but we legally cannot do what you're asking us to do.
You can legally.
No, we cannot legally do that, Ms.
Officer
Lang.
Reed has not returned any of my phone calls. This should have been in May.
Right,
In May.
and I wish you would complain sooner. And look, I'll tell you what,
You know what? I tried calling to everybody.
You never
James
called
Bonanno
me.
doesn't care about
Ms.
this.
Lang, look, your 3 minutes is up, and I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not going to be rude to you. Like, you're right. You live across the street from me. I'll move my car. You can park where I park until the 9th. Now, another thing, once that handicap parking spot goes up, it's not reserved for you. Anybody with a handicap spot can park there. So
Okay,
don't
you
think
know
just
what?
because.
The people that are weekenders that live on Jeffrey Street, that are in the row houses, and most of them live somewhere else in New York City, or they live in Hoboken,
Right.
and they only come here to go to the beach on the weekends. People like that are not handicapped, then can't park where my house is. And it's not in front of my house, it needs to be on the side right by my gate, so it's easier for me to get into my house.
Okay.
Trying to enter in the front of my house is too difficult.
When we get the police report, it will go where the police tells us, it'll say like 21 feet from this street, 21 feet, so say exactly where it's going. We'll make sure that's where you want it. But just because that handicap parking sign's going up, does that mean you're the only one that can park there? That's the law, that's the state law. I mean, I'm not the governor, I can't change the state law.
I understand that, but John, I've been trying to do this since before Memorial Day weekend.
And I feel terrible.
Not now, June 25th, since before Memorial Day weekend.
I feel terrible, and it'll be on the next agenda. There's just no way.
I work at Microsoft. If I sat there and said and did this to my customers, I'd have no job, okay? This should not apply at our city level, at our residents, where when somebody has a problem and they need to get something taken care of. And I shouldn't hear that, sorry, you only have 3 minutes. This is my life. This is a very big problem.
Okay, and you've made your point. You made your point very clear, and I totally agree with you, and it'll be on the next agenda, and that's the best we can do. And I'm sorry.
Okay, well, you shouldn't be sorry. You should do something about it because you should see all the calls that I had into Officer Reed that he never returned
That's
any of my
what we
calls.
asked. That's why I asked you to forward so we can look at it.
Okay, well, where's James Bonanno?
What difference does that make?
Because he didn't return any of my calls to tell
Okay,
me
well,
what the
that
procedure
will all be
was.
looked into, but it's not going to be looked into tonight. And again, I'm sorry to tell you, your time's up.
Okay, so who am I going to speak to tomorrow that's going to work with me instead of it being till July 9th?
Mr. John Hayes, or Mr. Adam?
I'm sorry, who?
Hold on.
You can talk to me, Adam Cruz, the new city manager, or John Hay.
John Hayes?
Adam Cruz or John Hayes.
Okay.
And Mayor, we found out about it yesterday, and we did follow up with it, and this is why everything was completed. So that was the first time we heard about it. That was yesterday. It has been addressed, and this is why we are guaranteeing that it's going to be on the next agenda. It was as of yesterday.
Okay, but it shouldn't wait till July 9th. That's weeks away already. I shouldn't have to wait when I've already tried and tried and tried and tried. This is
Okay,
ridiculous.
I've already answered
We're a
that.
very small town. We're 1.2 square miles.
Ms.
We're
Lang,
not New York
Ms.
City where
Lang,
we've
I'm
got
going
millions of
to
people
have
living.
to ask you, like, your time's up. And I'm sorry, but that's it.
Listen, so my money, my tax money is no good,
Ms.
and my
Lang.
renovations are no good, so I have a time limit to get
Yes,
somebody to help me with
everybody in
this?
this room has a time limit. I've already let you extend yours longer. So I'm please asking you, like, that's it? You heard? You
Okay,
heard
well, I'm
this?
gonna come here every single day until somebody tomorrow calls me. Okay, so I'm gonna cause a scene every single day.
Okay.
Until somebody hears me because I'm sick of being ignored for 6 weeks.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone. I'm sorry that you all had to hear this, but it's ridiculous that this town is
Hi,
such
Council.
red tape.
Mary Valino, 1700 Webb Street here in Asbury. I actually want to thank you because we came before this council regarding what Gabriella and Frank were speaking about maybe about a month and a half ago, and you facilitated a meeting with many of the leaders that are in the room, and we definitely appreciate that because we heard you and you're hearing us. I mentioned to Michelle today, just a little follow-up on the construction that's going on, Kingsley 7th and 8th. And I was informed today, similarly, that we should reach out to the construction department because air quality and just the debris that's flying and the unkept nature of the construction zone. So I think Michelle gave me the right information this evening to contact someone from construction or zone to make sure that they come out and cut the remaining grass at the edges, because now it's an empty lot. And conversely, on the opposite side where they're digging and throwing soil all over, do we have any code relative to having to spray it down? I worked in construction in the city, and we would always throw water when you're digging a hole. So I'm just curious about that, keeping the quality of life between 6th, 7th, 8th, as we do go along with the process. So thank you again. Appreciate all you do for the town.
Mary, make sure you CC Adam and John Hayes on your reaching out to the construction, because I'm almost positive we have something that
We do.
Pertains to that.
stops the dust.
I just recommended that if it's happening, we should call.
Okay,
Because there is.
and email.
No, but because if
Calls,
they
they
can
can jump on
they go out right away.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Mike Neal, 700 Asbury Ave. I just want to add a little bit to some of the things some of my wonderful neighbors here have brought up about parking and what's going on in the town. You just recently repaved all of Asbury Ave and painted all the lines to make it look nice and smooth, and it's fantastic. With the exception, whoever came up with this brilliant idea of a bike lane, car spaces, narrowing the road, it wasn't very bright. I look out my window every day. I now see 18-wheelers as they're going in either direction because they're nonstop up and down Asbury Ave. Then I have to stop and wait because now the cars are so tightly packed together, trucks can't pass each other. We have bike lanes on the inside where if you're in your car, somebody's going to zip up, open a door, something's going to happen without a doubt. More importantly, now everybody's putting their garbage cans in that bike lane. I've been riding my bike up the bike lane thinking, oh, this is fantastic. And at every driveway, you have to go out into the street so you can come back in because you can't even get up the bike paths. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. More importantly, I'm also been coming a lot because we know what's going on with this new church, that we're already losing parking spaces for 80 new units that are coming in. Well, in front of my house alone, they took 3 parking spaces away to put 1 spot. Doesn't make any sense to me when you can easily fit 3 cars. Why would you make a much larger area and limit the parking spaces that we all know there is not enough parking in Asbury? So whoever is planning the next road improvement, let's use our heads a little bit more so we can do things a little bit better. Somebody also brought up replacing all the bluestone, the slate. They're putting cement down. If you look at Bond Street that they paved last year, ripped up all of the sidewalks, put down concrete, every single sidewalk is disintegrating already because you like to put salt down in the winter and salt eats through concrete. You know, I'm not an engineer, but it's pretty, it doesn't take a mad scientist to figure out what salt does to the ground. It does not seem to affect the bluestone, so why don't we leave things alone instead of constantly trying to replace things, wasting money for no reason. Thank you very much.
Just do me a favor, give me your address once more.
700 Asbury Ave.
I just want to see about the 3 and 1 spots. I'll drive by tomorrow. Thank you.
I lost my parking spot. I now park in front of my driveway without a parking spot. I know I'm not going to pay that ticket if I ever get one because I've lost all my parking spots.
Thank you.
Move to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public participation is now closed. We are now on to the minutes from June 11th. I have executive session, regular session. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
We're now on to the consent agenda resolutions. All matters listed on the consent agenda are presented collectively to the City Council and will be considered for approval with one vote. These matters are considered to be routine in nature and there will be no individual discussion of these items. If discussion is desired by one or more council members as to any particular items, then said items shall be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. On consent agenda tonight, we have resolutions 2025-308 through 2025-311. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Moving on to individual resolutions, I have Resolution 2025-312, resolution approving payment of bills.
Move it.
Do I have a second? Councilmember Bez Anderson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Resolution 2025-313, resolution authorizing a contract to Lexipol for online police training.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson. Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
No.
Mayor Moore.
No.
Resolution 2025-314, resolution awarding a contract for environmental services at 6163 Ridge Avenue.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-315, resolution awarding a bid for Cookman Avenue and Bond Street intersection improvements.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson.
Question. When we talked about this, we wanted to make sure this is not done in the middle of the summertime. So I just want somebody to assure me that this went out to bid and it's not going to be done. We're not going to be shutting down Cookman Avenue for the entire summer.
I mean, it'll be post-summer, the intersection improvements. Fall.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions on this?
No other questions?
Do I have a motion?
You got it. You're right.
Oh, sorry, apologies. Councilmember Bez Anderson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-316, resolution approving change order number 8 for the new fire department headquarters.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson? Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-317, resolution approving a liquor license with special conditions for Johnny Mac House of Spirits LLC, doing business as Johnny Mac's for the 2025-2026 licensing year.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-318, resolution approving a liquor license with special conditions for Bond Street Bar and Grill LLC, doing business as Bond Street Bar and Grill Capital Line Lotteria for the 2025-2026 licensing year.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-319, resolution approving 2025-2026 alcoholic beverage control license for ABG Liquor Holdings LLC, doing business as Asbury Fest Hall and Beer Garden in the city of Asbury Park, county of Monmouth, New Jersey.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
We have a few additions to tonight's agenda. I have Resolution 2025-322, resolution approving 2025-2026 alcoholic beverage control license with special conditions for Georgie's, Inc., doing business as Georgie's in the city of Asbury Park, county of Monmouth, New Jersey.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-323, resolution approving 2025-2026 alcoholic beverage control license for GTJM Inc., doing business as Jimmy's in the city of Asbury Park, county of Monmouth, New Jersey.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-324, resolution authorizing the appointment of a public safety director for the city of Asbury Park and authorizing the execution of an employment agreement relating thereto. The appointee is John B. Hayes.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Moving on to ordinances for introduction. I have Bond Ordinance 2025-16, providing for the various capital improvements and the acquisition of various capital equipment appropriating $3,101,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,945,950 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized in and by the city of Asbury Park in the county of Monmouth, New Jersey, with a public hearing date of July 9th, 2025.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Moving on to ordinances for second reading and public hearing. I have ordinance 2025-14, amendment to the Main Street redevelopment plan. Do I have a motion to open the meeting for public comment on ordinance 2025-14?
Move to open.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public comment on ordinance 2025-14 is now open. Any member of the public who wishes to speak, please use the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Your comments may only be about ordinance 2025-14. Sir, could you use the microphone, please? Okay.
Good afternoon. Dan Harris, 17 Ridge Avenue, Asbury Park. Apologize for being late, but I did want to, can you all be quiet while I'm talking? I did want to address a couple issues that we have on Ridge Avenue.
Dan,
Can you hear me, John?
we're on to,
I
we
know,
closed the public session, we're on to this ordinance now.
I apologize for being late, John. Can I get this in? It takes 3 minutes to let that other lady talk for 15. And I was waiting for her to get done.
You weren't late, you were here. Go ahead.
Thank you. We do live in a nation with freedom of speech.
Kenny? Can we
Okay,
legally?
now.
The public hearing on this ordinance, it's ordinance 2025-14, amendment to the Main Street redevelopment plan. This section of the meeting is limited to comment on that particular ordinance.
We have a couple ordinances, stay and you can make your comments. I'll let you speak at the end of that.
Okay, as long as I can speak at the end, I'm satisfied.
That's
Thank you
why
very
we
much.
said anybody else, and that's why we closed it. No problem.
Appreciate it.
But, right, we don't want to jeopardize this.
Good evening, Dana Kelly, 301 6th Avenue. Even though that was the subject of a different matter, I'm here regarding this ordinance, and I am also involved in R-Bar, which is located on Main Street across the street from the proposed location of the adult daycare center. We just have some concerns, and as people that have invested heavily in this city, when we made the decision to put our business there, we did our due diligence and we looked at the redevelopment zone, and we did see that, it promoted commercial businesses. What this ordinance is proposing is not a commercial business, and we just have concerns about how this is going to affect the dynamics of the area. We've made Oprah requests to the township or to the municipality. We have not received any information yet, so we haven't been able to really formulate a strong argument, but we just really have concerns about the fact that this is supposed to be commercial in nature. It's supposed to be complementary to the other businesses in the area. So you have a facility that's going to be open during the day and then closed, and it's not really bringing anything to the economics of the area. So we would just appreciate your consideration when you're voting on this.
Thank you. Anybody else like to be heard on this ordinance?
Move to close. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-14?
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson?
No.
Councilmember Chapman?
No.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
No.
Moving on to ordinance 2025-15, bond ordinance providing for the train station canopies, appropriating $1 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $704,000 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized in and by the city of Asbury Park in the county of Monmouth, New Jersey. Do I have a motion to open the meeting for public comment on ordinance 2025-15?
Move to open. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public comment on ordinance 2025-15 is now open. Any member of the public who wishes to speak, please use the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Your comments may only be about ordinance 2025-15.
Seeing nobody, motion to close.
Move to close.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-15?
Move to adopt?
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
No.
We're now moving on to the municipal budget.
Let's hold on 1 second. Danny? Yep.
Okay, Dan Harris, 17 Ridge Avenue, Asbury Park. I've been a resident of Asbury for over 35 years at the same house. Recently, we're going through dynamics that we haven't seen previously on our little street on Ridge Avenue. Okay, it is mostly retired citizens, people who pay their taxes and were not violent people. Recently, my biggest concern, want me to wait till they leave? Basically,
Yes. Well, I'm sure you made a friend.
all right, I'll be at the Stone Pony next week. All right. Basically, John, my concern is the influx of people in our neighborhood on our quiet little block who basically either don't know the law of the city, but who have basically no regard for our way of living. I have called code enforcement, got very little things done. We have people putting sofas on their front porch, recliners on their front porch. That takes away from the quality of life in the neighborhood, and I would like to see something done about it, okay? I mean, I don't mind if you put lawn furniture on your front porch, but to go out your house and see a 2-ton sofa on the front porch and construction materials, I think that's just takes away from the quality of life of us who live there. I hate to call numbers out, but 11 Ridge Avenue, 36 Ridge Avenue, 101 Ridge Avenue, okay? They all got sofas on their front porch. Okay, I've never heard about that, okay? The second thing is people who disrespect parking, okay? You got 168 hours in a week. The city asks people not to park on one side of the street for 2 hours. When the street cleaner comes through, people are parked there, the street cleaner has to go around them, and the garbage stays there, okay? And the street cleaning people do a wonderful job, okay? But I wish that the police department would start ticketing these people who continue to park when they're not supposed to park. Some of them basically can't read English, okay? It's not my fault that you can't read 4th grade English, but you're gonna have to move your car when you're supposed to move your car. That is a concern of mine, so I wish the city would reinstitute just ticketing people who park during those 2 hours when they're not supposed to park, okay? But and the final thing is people who leave junk out on the street for 2, 3, 4, 5 days when you have 1 day to have your bulk picked up. There's a house next door to me again, 11 Ridge Avenue, which has had bulk parked in front of their house for over 4 days. Okay, it hasn't gotten picked up. I've gone next, and a couch. I've gone next door, John, you listen with your eyes. I've gone next door. I told them, look, take that, put it behind the house until Friday, and they'll pick it up on Saturday, okay? Then they run this no speak English, and I tell them, shut up, you know what I said, okay? So I just asked that the city would institute code enforcement. and
Okay,
also-
Danny, we gave you more than 3 minutes, and I'm not going to cut you off, but I'm going to say to Mr. Cruz, who's new and the city manager, this is not the first complaint I received from this area. There's a retired city employee who lives across the street who's called me because he worked for me and complains. His complaints have been constant, but nothing gets done.
Thank you, John, Amy, Ms. Clayton, Ms. Chapman, and Ms. Anderson. I appreciate your courtesy. Bless.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to municipal budget, public hearing. Do I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public comment on the 2025 municipal budget is now open. Any member of the public who wishes to speak, please use the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Your comments may only be about the 2025 municipal budget.
Motion to close.
Move to close.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Moving on to Resolution 2025-320, 2025 budget amendment. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Councilmember Bez Anderson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Resolution 2025-321, resolution adopting the 2025 municipal budget.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Bez
Yes.
Anderson? Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
That is all for tonight. Do I have a motion to close the meeting?
Move to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
You too.